In short, what is happening today in FDC is also happening in other political parties. The NRM has 2 presidential candidates, a father and a son. UPC has 2 presidents, the son of the late Dr. Bote and Peter Walubiri. DP has 2 factions, one led by Mao, who has now gone away, and Luiga, Dr. Lulume Baiga. Jema, I have not heard anything from them. And CP.
Also one.
But we are scared that such things which we are going through may also happen to NUP. So we want to pray to them to be steady and not go to the situation in which we are today. This release is our clarion call and a humble appeal to all FDC leaders in different corners of Uganda to stop washing our political underwears in the public and confusing innocent members at the grassroots. It is based on the FDC's motto, one people, one Uganda, or one Uganda, one people. We should raise above our individual interests, religious beliefs, and ethnic groups, because we are one people who belong to one country. As is already known, on Friday, 20th July 2023, 5 members from SEC, us, formally presented our 19-page report to the FDC National Council. We want you to note that we were given 8 terms of reference. We were directed to focus on reconciling the aggrieved parties in FDC, but not to create more divisions among them. The term of reference number 6 also gave us 10 days to carry out our investigations and make appropriate recommendations to enable the party to move forward more peacefully and responsibly. So those who believe that we did show the work can still call for another committee. They can still request for another committee to satisfy their assertions. We are also aware that even World Bank reports have been criticized by different scholars and ordinary analysts. I now wanted to turn to some of the allegations which have been made against us. One is that we doctored the report in favor of Mafabi. All that he dictated to us what we should write about him. This allegation came from some newspapers, allegedly from Honorable Ibrahim Onganda Semuju, Honorable Elias Lukwago, and Dorin Nyanjura. That those 4 people are entitled to their opinions about us. But it is still their responsibility to prove that we don't have independent minds. Dr. Kizza Besigye, the first president of FDC, whom we have high respects for, described our report as not being worthy the paper it was written on. So according to him, even the paper we wrote on was useless, not worth reading. He further asserted that, one, he gave us the serial numbers of the new notes of shillings 300 million, which Honorable Mafabi asked him to keep in his house in Kasangati for FDC election agents. He also said that we did not resolve the unresolved data money, and that we did not inquire into the current accounts and financial records of the party using forensic methods. That in Honorable Mafabi's statement to us, he never mentioned the shillings 280 million which he gave to Honorable Amriat. He also said that we parroted. A parrot is that bird which
Nkusu.
Nkusu. We parroted Honorable Mafabi's lies that the shillings 300 million was for party agents. And that lastly, he said that we selected and inaccurately recorded what he told us. Our response is as follows. Our terms of reference advised us not to engage in witch hunting games. If Honorable Mafabi had deposited the shillings 300 million elsewhere, if, for example, I had hidden it in my house, would I have gone out to say, I have this money? Would Dr. Besigye have known
No.
and initiated this saga? Additionally, Dr. Besigye never disclosed to us the name of his informer from State House about the dirty money, as he called it. It is also true that Honorable Muriat admitted to us that he indeed obtained shillings 280 million from Mafabi for his presidential campaign. Honorable Mafabi was authorized to borrow money by the party, for the party. And Honorable Mafabi complied. He also tendered some bank papers which he showed that he withdrew money from his own bank account in Chambo. On the other hand, Dr. Besigye did not prove to us that money came from State House. I think according to the Monitor today, Dr. Besigye has shown the serial numbers of the new notes of money which he recorded, which he says came from State House. But it is also true that the State House pays money to its clients, suppliers of this or that,
Goods and services.
goods and services, and that money still ends up in commercial banks. It is also true that the money that Nandala took to Dr. Besigye was not the same money that Dr. Besigye gave back to FDC headquarters. The other ills we identified, we said that Dr. Besigye's refusal to campaign for Amuriat in 2020 to 21 disadvantaged other FDC candidates. But in his lengthy report here, he did not make any comment on that matter. Our recommendations to make FDC stronger. We made 8 recommendations to help the party grow, amending the FDC constitution in some parts, developing party alliances in Uganda. In Kenya, for example, they usually have 2 presidential candidates only. In the last election, Ruto had several political parties which united and voted for him. Raila Odinga also had 3 or 4 political parties in Azimio alliance which voted for him. We have not yet reached there in Uganda because we have had military governments from 1966 to present. The day we will also think about forming political alliances to fight against dictatorial rule in this country, we will thank God. We also recommended that a book should be written on the history of FDC. And the people who have contributed to the party, to the growth of the party, should be highlighted. And we believe that President Besigye should be highlighted in that book because of the sacrifices he has made for Uganda and for the party. That is why we are sad that the president is undermining his own legacy. Some people may be whispering messages, wrong messages, to Kizza Besigye to destroy his legacy in this country. Lastly, I want to stress this. We have only 30 months left to have general elections in January 2026. One party has already identified 2 presidential candidates. The other parties have not identified their presidential candidates. So we should not waste time bickering on things which we cannot prove. We should focus on what is positive, what Ugandans want. They want change in power.
Abamu kuffe twajja mu FDC eno si kugiyingira nekitandika kyova tulina obuvunaanyizibwa okulaba nti tugisigazaawo. Bwe tujja wano abamu tansina okuteekamu bannamawulire olaba omuntu enajjanaku nti wa Nandala olaba omuntu ng'ayogera ne Dr. Besigye mu Kampala nti wa Dr. Besigye kati mutandisa okutiisa n'abantu bankiro okukwatagana okunyumya n'emboozi ng'abantu ba bulijjo ffe kye tulabanga ekikyamu. Ate oba tuyagala Nandala noonya amagezi agamugjamu mu mateeka nga bamugjamu. Waliwo engeri ssatu z'okugjamu Nandala oba tomwagala. Nze kampa amagezi abalala. Esooka ng'omusabye n'alizayininga. Eyokubiri okulinda delegates conference n'oyogera ba delegates ne bamugjawo. Eyokusatu oyinza okukwata munno mu masasi. Yes. Teri mateeka naye bavuddewo. Mukitegeera. Kakati engeri endala bwe tusobola yo nga pati gyeteeka eri engeri egi kulaga nti tutuuka okulonda okutuuka mu delegates conference. Omutaala gwe twafunamu nga pati bannaffe abamu bagenda nga badde ne bagamba temugenda mu kulonda abalala bagamba mugende mulonde. Kyatawaanyamu okulonda kuno naye ebyokulonda mubimanyi. Abalonda si ba supporters be FDC. Abalonda be bammemba baki be FDC. Naye okubeerako abantu babiri ku kyalo nga bakabe be FDC bateekayo okulonda be balonda si ekyo atali memba takola ki talonda. Kati waliwo bannaffe omugere bateekayo message ezibuzaabuzizza abantu abamu ne batalonda abamu ne bagana kati tujja kulonda. Kati bwe kibanga okulonda kuwedde ne kukomekerezebwa gwe nodda ebweru nogaa nti bwe tubagalira dda naye nga totabye mu gundi yakolaba nti omugjawo mu mateeka oba na biseera ojjako abanga bukaba bintu gundi twali tetumwagala naye nga abantu bamulooza akoze eki mwakirako mu kibiina ekimu abantu bonna abali balina amaanyi ab'ebitiibwa naye titujja gendayo kulonda. Abagendayo abatonotono baali banyooma sebo oli yakyalina pulezidenti olwaleero abatwalanga bw'ayagala n'abantu abalina amagezi amayitirivu abatwala lwaki kyovola abamu kuffe tugamba tugendere ku mulamu ogw'okulonda okukuza ekibiina kyaffe. Ekibiina kino tukyagala buli mwaki taddemu amaanyi mangi mubadde mutukavalinga teri kibiina kibonyeebonye nakuttibwa n'abantu ng'ekyFDC. Kati ku ssaawa eno waliwo abali sayidi eri singa bakutunuulira bagamba temulonda naye bo quietly batandise okugenda abakampeyini nga mutulonde naye nga bali ku sayidi eri babuzaabuza bannaabwe ng'osigalayo bakulekayo basebo ne bannyabo. Tuwa message bannaffe aba FDC tetulina kireka kuleka kibiina kyaffe genda either side gwe gyotayagala jangu mundu olwanire muli gwotayagala omulabe nti bamuvotinga out of the campaigning mu November aveewo. Watosobola genda omutte